Didn't turn up, especially first half. We were off the races. We weren't at our normal self, and that's what we have to address, because we know these boys can be so good, and then to produce that form again and again and again, that's the key.
Try to generate belief, and I just demanded to be who we are here in any ground, and I think the team that you saw tonight is where we are starting to be, and I'm proud the way we approach the game, the personality that we show to play against this team at Old Trafford, and obviously delighted with the win.
Well, Dion was at the game yesterday, one of the very few, and Arsenal at last, that hoodoo has ended. Their first win away to the Big Six in 30 games since January 2015, when they won across Manchester at the Etihad. Not a lot in it. Did Arsenal just about deserve to win it?
Terrible game.
Terrible game.
It was a terrible game.
And it rained all day.
Yeah, it was just dull, and there was so much quality on the pitch in regards to individual, players that could really set the world alight, and none of them really did anything. They were giving the ball away. We were watching the game there, and I'm saying to Don, there were so many times during that game that an individual who plays for his country gave the ball to the opponent, and that's like a 5-yard, 10-yard pass. Yeah. And the body language was poor to watch. I don't know what it was with both sides. They just couldn't get going. And it was going to take, in many occasions this season, it will be a worldie, a great goal from 30 yards, or a silly mistake, or somebody switches off. And that's exactly what happened. It was just so... Pogba, unfortunately, gets himself in a really bad position.
So you're saying actually there was nothing between the teams?
Not at all. If it was a 0-0, I'd have thought, well, fair play. Nobody really deserved to win the game, because nobody created that many chances.
A bit like the Chelsea game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The other week.
Yeah.
The 0-0.
Yeah.
I mean, what I struggle with is their form in the Champions League and the Premier League.
Manchester United.
Is so inconsistent. It's incredible. Just when you think they've cracked it, when they beat PSG and then wallop Leipzig 5-0, you think, well, surely coming into this game, they'll have so much confidence and fancy taking 3 points and get their season going. Chelsea game I can understand, because both teams were vulnerable and fragile, so a 0-0 at the time felt like a good result and one that both teams could kick on from. But United were really poor. As Dion said, their passing was so sloppy. There's no energy when they try to win the ball back. It was like a United side that were going to accept a 0-0 or lose the game 1-0. I didn't really see any spark from them.
It felt like they were passing the ball to each other. On the very rare occasion they did pass to each other. You have it now.
Yeah. You do something.
Yeah, you have it now, and I've done my bit. You have it now. There was no you have it, I'll have it back. Just really odd body language in such a huge game in the Premier League.
And then a penalty to decide it all, which, I mean, we're going to talk a lot today about contact and just how much contact there is and whether the player has every right to go down. But he's clipped Bellerin, isn't he, from Pogba?
He is. I think Bellerin's very clever. He gets across in front of him. Pogba goes to ground. That's where he makes his mistake, doesn't it? It's a rash decision. Once you go to ground, he's no longer in control of that situation. Catches the back of his heel, and Mike Dean gives a penalty.
He's not learning, Paul Pogba. He's done the same in the Tottenham game. No, he's not learning.
Okay, well,
I get the argument when people say, well, that's not his forte, because at the top end of the pitch you can pick a pass and he's so good. You're still playing professional football. You've still got to understand your responsibility when you're in a defensive situation. And you can make those tackles when you're outside the box, you take a gamble. He didn't see the run of Bellerin, and then that's absolutely fine because he switched off and he didn't see him. But once you do switch off, don't then dive in and give a cheap penalty away when the game's at 0-0.
Yeah.
It's a basic mistake.
See, the big problem is, we can see the contact. Yeah, the contact is minimal, but there is contact, and they can be painful. Studs on top of the foot, fair play. But early on in when he lost Bellerin, the first clip of the goal where he lost Bellerin, that's when he had his problem. You can watch Paul Pogba, his shoulders go there and go there. His shoulders are down. You can watch him. Watch Pogba there. Watch Bellerin. He's in the eye line, and now he's not. Now Bellerin goes behind Pogba. Yeah. That's when your problems start.
And he doesn't realise that he comes in his peripheral, and then he puts the challenge in.
If you're marking somebody, and they find themselves behind you, you are in serious problem, because you're then last ditch. And
you've got to be aware when you're playing in Paul Pogba's position there. You've got to be aware in your peripheral vision where Bellerin is. Now, the scariest thing about that is he actually sees him.
Yeah.
Like you said, he sees him, he knows he's there, he's keeping an eye on the ball, he knows Bellerin's there, and then, for whatever reason, Paul Pogba then ball watches and then Bellerin just nips in behind him. Yeah. But once that's happened and you check your shoulder and you see Bellerin's gone, you know something's happened and you know you're in trouble. Yeah. So you know Bellerin's probably made a run into the 18-yard box. Don't compound your mistake.
He's made 2 errors, hasn't he?
Exactly. Don't compound that by then giving a penalty away. Yeah. Just accept the fact that Bellerin's got in behind. And then try and either make a block, or if the cross comes in the box, you can then
hold him
defend
up, or whatever you have.
Anything you like, apart from give a penalty away.
It's the first time Arsenal have ever converted a penalty at Old Trafford against Manchester United. They missed a couple in the past. Gilberto Silva in the Premier League, that is. And Robin van Persie missed 4 Arsenal on a day when Man United got 8. Don't think it made any difference. Anyway, Aubameyang, a bit more. Last season he was doing the sort of weird penalty, wasn't he, when he was trotting up and waiting for the goalkeeper, and then I think in the end he just decided to
at least
stick
he's
it in the
scored
corner.
Now, so he can sort of get rid of that myth that he hasn't scored since he signed his new contract. Everyone thought that he switched off.
Yeah.
It's a statement win for Arsenal, it really is. I'm not going to get carried away because they've gone back-to-back defeats, but you know, once you go away to a top side and you put in a decent performance, and I've got to say I thought Thomas Partey was ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I mean, £45 million, but what a bargain.
Yeah,
can we say once, new Patrick Vieira, and never say it again?
Yes.
I will fine anybody who never say it again. Even Roy Keane was saying it yesterday on British television.
I'm happy to fine you right now for saying it.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. What did you... So you thought he was terrific, did you?
I did. It's just every compartment of his game, you know, he gets forward, he picks a pass. Even that one there, you know, that's a simple little layoff. You know, now he's got to change of pace, he's got great strength, gets his shot away, he can do all the defensive duties. He wouldn't give a penalty away like we've seen Paul Pogba. Then he's great with the ball at his feet. Now watch him recover. Yeah. You know, he's hungry to win the ball back. He's not one of these, and I use this term sort of loosely, one of these sort of Arsenal fancy players, where they look great on the ball, but nothing elsewhere. He could wear any number on the back of his shirt. He could wear a 6, a 4, a 10. He could play it right back when you need him. So good.
It's amazing how Don's pulled him out, and me being at the game, I thought El Neni was the best player on the pitch. So we've pulled out 2 sort of unsung heroes, really. Sure. You know, they're not the flash players.
They were the 2 pivots in midfield,
absolutely,
weren't they?
But what they did, both of them, is they just worked hard. They ran about. It sounds so ridiculous. I didn't see many players during that game with a proper sweat on and breathing and really tired, where those 2 made it look easy. They worked
There was a
together.
clip of El Neni in the 91st minute closing down.
He closed down Lindelof.
Yeah.
He closed down Lindelof. He forced Lindelof to play it to Shaw, right in front of the dugout.
Yeah.
He sprinted to Shaw, and Shaw had to go back to the keeper. He got a high five.
This is where the game sort of evolved over the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years, because Chrissy Wilder said, I will never, ever praise my players for doing that. That should be the norm.
No, exactly.
You work incredibly hard, because that's what you should be doing. Then you add on all the fancy skills and the tricks and the goals and the tackles. But that has to be, first and foremost, the thing you bring to a game is by outworking the opposition.
So what we said is baby steps for Arsenal and a significant win. We won't say any more than that at the moment, and the first one in 30 away. Right, Manchester United. This is their worst home league start since 1972-73. And these results go back to the end of last season, of course. So obviously Crystal Palace downwards is this season. So 4 home games, all against London teams. Haven't won any of them. And obviously those 3 going back there as well. Solskjaer, 100 games in charge now. They're 15th. Where are they going?
That sounds really
and conceded
they are
10
15th.
in 4.
Yeah.
Really, you know, 15th at the moment. You know, it's.
I mean, you look at the league table, Dion, didn't you? And you always think, well, because players do this. Players look at a league table and go, yeah, but if we win the next game, you know, we can go.